Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation continues with a passage from Gujri Mahalla Ela, composition of Baba Nanak in the Rag Gujri. The recitation. ऐ जी जन्म मरे आवे फुन जावे बिन गुर गत नहीं काई गुरमुख प्राणी नामे राते नामे गत पत पाई भाई रे राम नाम चित लाई गुर प्रसादी हर प्रभ जाचै ऐसी नाम बढ़ाई रहाओ ऐ जी बहुते भेख करे बिखिया को कीते उदर भरन कै ताई बिन हर भगत नाही सुख प्राणी बिन गुर गर्भ न जाई ऐ जी काल सदा सिर ऊपर ठांडे जन्म जन्म वैराई साचे शब्द रते से बाचे सतगुर बूझ बुझाई गुर शरण आई जो है न साकै दूत न सके संताई अवगत नाथ निरंजन राते निर्भव स्यों निवलाई ऐ जियो नाम दृढ़ो नामे लिव लावो सतगुर टेक टिकाई जो तिस भावै सोई करसी किरत न मेटिया जाई ऐ जी भाग परे गुर शरण तुम्हारी मैं अवर न दूजी पाई अब तब एको एक पुकारो आद जुगाद सखाई ऐ जी राखो पैज नाम अपने की तुझ ही स्यों बन आई कर कृपा गुरु दर्श दिखावो हाँ मैं शब्द जलाई ऐ जी क्या मांगो किछ रहे न दिसै इस जग में आया जाई नानक नाम पदार्थ दीजै हृदय कंठ बनाई ऐ जी क्या मांगो किछ रहे न दिसै इस जग में आया जाई नानक नाम पदार्थ दीजै हृदय कंठ बनाई Baba Nanak on the fragile existence, speaking about this human, a G, using that term G in multiple senses, but primarily as this earthly creature, fragile, finite, temporary, a physical entity, a transient being whose existence is ephemeral, perishable. So the question is, what should such a creature ask for in a world where everything is fleeting? Aji kya mango kich rahe na disa, nothing appears to last. Is jag mein, in this world, aaya jai, it's coming and going. So, given that condition, that life is transient, what is it that is worth asking for, or what is it that is worth latching on to? And the answer in the last line of this Shabad is Nanak Naam Padarth Dijai Hriday Kanth Banai. So Nanak pleads for self-knowledge, Naam, wisdom of the self, the indwelling self. Naam Padarth Dijai. So here you get a sense of what Naam is. It is a padarat, a substance. Pad and Rat, Arth. Padarat is a combination of Pad and Arth, meaning of this substance. Dija, Hirday Kant Banai, may I make that knowledge the rosary around my neck. In other words, may I be infused in life with that knowledge of the self. Because Pad Arth means, what is that thing to which a meaning is assigned? O Pad kiye, jada e arth hai, Padarth, substance. So what Guruji is asking for is knowledge, wisdom. Wisdom of the self, from which will arise wisdom of the world. And it's a long passage, but that is essentially the crux. And so in the Rahau, the reflection for us is, Bhaire, brethren, my brothers and sisters, Ram Naam Chit Lai, Gur Prasadi Har Prabh Jachai, Aisi Naam Badai. So self-knowledge, Naam, is glorious. Aisi Naam Badai, such is its virtue, such is its benefit. If you, Ram Naam Chit Lai, if only you focus your attention on the self. Bhaire Ram Naam Chit Lai. If you focus your attention on the wisdom within, on the self within, Gur Prasadi, with the help, with the guidance of an enlightened source. Gur Prasadi Har Prabh Jacha. So this seeking, so with the guidance of the Guru, focus your attention on the wisdom of Ram, the all-pervading self within, that consciousness that is within you, and such is the glory of Guru wisdom that it will lead you to the source, Har Prabhajacha. That is the way this investigation should be done. And of course, there is a commentary on our existence. This mortal being, Ji, he says, wears many garbs. Bahute pek kare. To do what? Bikhiya ko kehte, to collect alms. So in other words, we are engaged in a rat race for the sake of filling the belly. Udar paran ke tai. So it's very clear that all this rat race is nothing more than a way to fill our bellies. But the Guru says, without devotion to wisdom, no real happiness is possible. Bin har pagat nahi sukha prani. This is the Guru's advice. You need the guidance of the Guru. Bin har pagat nahi sukha prani. Bin Gur, without that wisdom, Guru wisdom, garab na jai. Garab is pride, conceit. So it's egoic in nature. So the ego is never satisfied. So you need wisdom here to understand proportion. Wisdom is a sense of proportion. How much should I be running around? And when should I call it a day? That is where we all get confused. It's never enough. It's never enough. And what adds to our anxiety is the fact that death is forever standing over our heads. Aji kaal sada sir upar thande. Janam janam verai. Janam janam here, every moment. Every moment. You could call it every birth, but every moment, with every thought that arises in your mind, the death of that thought comes with it. But when we get immersed in sabad, which is the Guru's narrative on the wisdom of the self, we are saved. We get discernment. Satguru Bhuj Bhujai. What is this discernment? It is a sense of proportion. You understand what physical death is. You overcome fear of physical death, because not only are we in a rat race, but that rat race is intensifying the sense of anxiety we feel because of the passage of time. It only adds to our anxiety. That is why we have to seek refuge in Gur wisdom. Gur Saranai Johana Sake, because when you have that wisdom, Johana Sake, you are immune from this sort of anxiety, existential anxiety. You're not tormented by the passage of time. Dutana Sake Santai. So love of the immaculate self is what is needed. And for that, the advice to us, with the support and guidance of the true enlightener, Satguru Tek Tekai, become rooted in self-knowledge. Namadride, Name levelao. Become focused on virtues. The virtue of contentment, the virtue of compassion, the virtue of sharing. Because, and this is key, Jo tis pave soi karsi kirtana metya jai, because whatever pleases the Creator will come to pass. Jo tis pave soi karsi kirtana metya jai. No matter how the amount of exertion, you can never overcome its will. In other words, you cannot dictate the outcome of whatever it is that you are engaged in. You can be exerting all you want, but you cannot guarantee the outcome, because things will come to pass that is divine will. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.